Welcome to the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast with your host, life coach Jeff Relaford. This podcast is designed for those who wish to change their inner self in order to maximize outward potential. So come redirect, regroup, and refocus with your number one life coach, Jeff Relaford.
Hello, everybody. It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you with another episode of the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. Now, look here, man. Look, I'm grateful for y'all always listening, like I say, every week, right? And I'm even more grateful because now, see, I told you I want to get more guests on the show. I always say this, you know what I mean? Sometimes y'all get tired of Jeff yapping all the time. You know, it's only so much I can put on y'all, but I'm grateful when y'all listen. So I have someone on here who is going to tell her story a little bit. She's going to tell us, what she wants to focus on today and what we'll be focusing on today, because this guest was just on the fly. My cousin is going to be going ahead and doing his podcast right after I get done. So we right here in the studio. So I just said, hey, let me bring on earlier. So right now, I don't want to butcher the name. The name is Nikki Spiller. Let's bring her on, yo. Let's go.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on? Now, like I'm letting the people know, you know, we got you on, but let the people know what you do, girl. Let them know.
Hi, I'm Nikki Spiller of Nikki Sleep Designs. I actually do promo, social marketing, flyers, graphics for small business owners. People want to get their business out there, make it look good, make the aesthetics, you know, because, you know, we visit people due to aesthetics. And so I'm very big on that. And so that's something I've been doing now, going on a year in November officially as an LLC. But something that I always point out to people, you can have the greatest aesthetics. You can have all of those things in place, but the first thing you have to have in order to build your brand is a high identity. And so tonight, we are definitely going to talk about, you know, we always look at the financials and all that stuff, good credit, but first it starts with identity building and self-belief. So tonight we're going to get into that and how that can play a part in how do you build your identity in order to be an effective business owner, because those things matter. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Your habits are what going to either make or break you in business.
Facts. And this is what we're going to talk about today, people. We're going to throw it down because a lot of times, let me tell y'all something, man. People don't really look at, see, with me being a mindset coach, people don't really look at the fact that mindset is in everything that we do. You know what I mean? And so with branding, with building the identity and making sure that you could get your point across to people exactly what it is that you do, you know, it's a whole mental game. You have to really approach it as such. And that's why we want to drop these gems on you. So I'm going to ask you, Nikisha, with everything that you've done thus far, what has been your toughest mental challenge dealing with marketing and branding?
Toughest is actually making sure you are number one first. If you're a giver by nature, and you like to promote everybody else, sometimes you forget about yourself. That even though it's my job to promote you, I still need to promote myself too. True. In order to keep other new clients in rotation. So the toughest thing is definitely keeping yourself in the forefront without it being selfish, but also making sure you do have a little spot reserved just for you to keep yourself grounded too, and making sure you're putting yourself out there too.
Definitely. Okay. Because I'm going to tell you, girl, I always tell people to be selfish. Look here, on my social media, nobody's stuff gets shared to my page. Now, I'll talk about it. Like if I give everybody opportunity, if you got something going on, or if I go live and I talk about it myself, that's one thing. But, you know, that algorithm is real, man. And you want to make sure that you're reaching the correct people that you're supposed to reach. And when you keep sharing other people's stuff to your page, one, it can skew your message a little bit of who you are, what you support, and the direction you want to go. And you confuse your listeners, man, your audience. They need to have a clear, concise way of where you go. So, girl, I ought to say this. I'm selfish all day. I love people, but I'm selfish out here. So I get it.
Yeah, I've learned to start being a little more selfish. That's why I have like a lock on my timeline. So I have to approve your posts. You can't, like, you know how people go through and add like 99 people.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not a paying client, I actually made this disclaimer. I'm not trying to be funny, but this is what I make money off of now.
Okay.
And I don't want everybody's brand attached to mine because I don't
There
want
you go.
anybody thinking I associate with that. Like
Mm-hmm.
ratchet stuff is a no. Hood stuff is a no unless you are a
Mm-hmm.
credible artist. And that is
There you go.
really what I see you get results in and
Yeah.
how you carry yourself. I definitely will support that. But
Okay.
anybody and if I can let everybody post to my page because you want my following, it's another thing people need to understand. It is
Mm-hmm.
not a privilege to get access to my market. It's not your right.
Oh, hold on. Say that again so that people in the back can hear that. Say that one
it's
more time, girl.
it's a privilege to get access to my market. It's not a right because I
Ooh.
went through and got to know these people for myself.
Yes.
You are not entitled to my audience.
Come on now. I'm
So
telling you.
unless my post is relevant to you, I have learned
Mm-hmm.
to just tag who is relevant to and who have agreed with me
Mm-hmm.
that it's okay and we're sharing this brand together.
I
So
love it.
yes.
I love it. So would you say to try kind of transition with that, would you say building your identity is through more of network and partnerships as well? How do you view that?
So building your mindset and your identity, number one, comes with having the right mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Also reading books. That's something we leave out a whole lot.
Very true.
You have to
I
read
agree.
certain books to get to the next levels. I can tell when I haven't been reading. Like right now, I can tell I haven't
Yeah.
been reading because I've been
Okay.
so enthralled with everybody else stuff.
Okay.
Because your energy changes when you don't read. But when you read like a 10x
Mm-hmm.
or Secrets of a Millionaire Mindset, all that type of
Yeah.
stuff, your mind starts to expand. And then who you place yourself, the meetings you attend, who you're putting yourself around.
Mm-hmm.
So you can network all you want to, but are you networking in the right market? Are you networking with the right people?
That's
It's
it, man.
intentional. Everything you do in your business has got to be intentional. You can't just
Mm-hmm.
haphazardly say, well, I see this networking event, I'm just gonna go to it.
Exactly.
No, you gotta see who is gonna be there, how is it
Mm-hmm.
marketed? Because I mean you never know who you're gonna meet anywhere you go, but you
Very
definitely want
true.
to be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't attend everything for everybody.
It's true.
Some people go, they're looking to grow, and some
Mm-hmm.
people go and they have no clue, what to look for.
Yeah.
But you definitely want to be intentional who you're around because
Mm-hmm.
definitely that makes a difference. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. I feel you on
It
that.
does. Mentorship is something a lot
Yeah.
of people are scared of too. You might meet a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be scared to be
Mm-hmm.
in a room with people doing better than you. Number one.
Oh, let them know. Oh,
Please don't
come on,
be.
girl. You don't be scared. Let them know.
Don't be
Please
scared.
do.
Be uncomfortable. Because if I'm uncomfortable, that means
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of my comfort zone, which means that's growth. If I'm around people I'm comfortable with, where's the
Come on
growth
now.
gonna happen?
That's it. That's it. Because we're always evolving and we're forever evolving and never changing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So why would we want to be in a room with people that are either on the same level as us or below that standard? Because, like you say, you ain't got nothing to grow from off that. The information you're gonna give me is stuff that I already know. Nah, baby, we got to go. The train. I always tell people the train keep moving, whether you own it or not. That's
I'm
how I
not
roll.
trying to be funny. I've been in a room with millionaires. I've been
Yeah,
trained literally by people who are millionaires on paper. Like
that's what's
not
up.
they fraudulent or nothing like that. Like I've seen
Mm-hmm.
their credentials, I've seen their results. In
Definitely.
the insurance company I was in, I was around my CEO who was telling me how to maneuver, who got a number one podcast, who got a number one. Like I'm not listening to people
Yeah.
who not doing what I want to do. I'm gonna listen to people who life I want.
Facts. I agree. And I hear you
You
about the
know?
mentorship too, because the client that I'm about to have, now normally I don't do this with clients, but she
Mhm.
happens to be a little bit local and everything like that. And we're going to be starting a whole action plan for her and everything like that. She wants to come on for 6 months and
Okay.
everything. So with that being said, she wants to shadow me. I got 2 events coming up and she wants to come on location to those events. She said she wants to be up close and personal to see how I do it,
Yeah.
see how I move in these spaces. And yo, I had somebody show me this stuff, and it's kind of crazy. Now I get to pass it on back down. You know what I mean? Because I could talk
Right.
about it all day, but for her to actually be there on site, on location, looking at how I set up stuff, I might even bring this whole setup out with me too, so I can shoot it live and talk to some people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something how you just attain all that knowledge, and now you're able to give it back. It's a blessing, yo. All day.
And another thing too, people have to realize when people are trying to give you knowledge, it's not them being condescending. It's I used to be in your spot, and I wish somebody would have told me sooner.
Ain't the word
So
just help. You trying to help somebody.
just trying to help you. Like if I say something, it's not because I think I'm all knowing. It's not because I've made it. It's because I'm on the same journey you on. And if you're saying you want to win, I'm just trying to see how serious you are. Because if you're serious, you want to change.
There you go.
If you want to stay in the same place, then me and you ain't got nothing to talk about. Love you. But this train can't stop for you. Because I don't like being stagnant. I've never been like that. Like even before being part of the company I was a part of, I don't like being stagnant. I view my life in increments. You know what I'm saying? I go through my own mental struggles and things that I want to get accomplished. But having the right people around you makes a very big difference. Even when I took a break from my company, I saw the difference in coming back to like, you know, everybody that's local versus knowing strangers. Knowing strangers hits totally different because they have no jaded perception of you. They don't look at you somebody like, oh, you from where I'm from. How can you tell me you not doing this, not doing that? Like the energy I experienced in PHP was totally different. It's cool to meet strangers. Please go meet strangers. Don't be afraid to meet strangers because it's no knocking. If you're blessed, if you got people around you that know you and want to build with you, but it's very far in between because once again, family knows you as family. Friends know you as just this. And when you start growing, it kind of bothers them because then they're like, oh, you elevating, so you think you better. They start saying little passive aggressive stuff. And I don't think it's out of maliciousness, it's out of fear.
Oh, yeah, I hear.
It's not malicious. It's just you're doing something different than what we know. I mean,
because 9 times out of 10, people are scared to go to the place that you're trying to go to. They have a desire. They want to go there because they sit around, they talk to their people and they say, okay, man, well, maybe how can I do this? You know, it's too much work. But then when they see you doing the work that they should be doing or they want to do, that's all it is. They get upset.
Or they tried and gave up quick.
That's right. Gave up too quick. Because really with this game of mental toughness, it's all about you have to keep on trying certain things to get to another level. If I would have stopped, let's be for real. I started doing my podcast and going on other people's podcasts with just a little webcam. I didn't care nothing about it. It was still a clear stream. You know what I mean? But when I got serious about it, we went to the lights. I even bought a MacBook for all of this stuff. You know what I mean? To handle the power and everything like that. I got me a better Canon camera. I got the right cords and connections. I got a mixer. I got all this different stuff that helps run this production and drives it great. You know, but if I would have never took that knowledge or took the time to learn from other people who were already ahead of me, they gave me a chance to do it a heck of a lot better. And that's no shade at my people. What I mean by better is that my cousin and my people, they know how I take information. I'm like a sponge, yo. If you tell me to do something and it makes sense and it's right, I do it all day. But it's got to fit how I move. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
and it got to be relevant to my vision. Like another thing, people, you got to be very clear on your vision and speak your vision daily.
True.
Because you're going to need a team eventually, and your team's they're going to follow your vision because people are not interested in where you're at. They're interested in people that's going where they're going. And sometimes we have self-doubt and we have imposter syndrome. Like, man, am I really about this? Or, you know, because if you're not getting results right away, sometimes you get a little discouraged, but we got to stop looking for instant gratification because there's no such thing when it comes to entrepreneurship as instant gratification, to be honest.
You ain't lying. You are not
It's going to be up, down, to the side. Times you got to check yourself a whole lot daily.
Definitely.
Some habits you have. And the biggest thing, people, and me and my best friend talk about this, you got to face the ugly parts of yourself.
Oh, come on now. See, with me being a life coach, come on. That's
you gotta, because there's some stuff you gotta look in the mirror and be like, and that, by the way, that doesn't negate you from being a good person.
Yes.
Everybody got something that's messed up about them. It's the thing of if you can't be real with you, how are you gonna be real with anybody else?
Facts. And see, in my line of work, we call that the limiting belief. That's what we call it.
Yeah, it's limiting beliefs
So
because people, that's what they're doing. When your family says, oh, you're going to do that, it's limiting beliefs because they don't believe. So we have to stop taking it personal and just back away. I stopped sharing a lot of stuff with my family.
Okay.
Just because we're not on the same thing. It ain't no shade or nothing. We just not on the same thing. But I've got cousins that are on the same thing, and I talk and relate with them. So, when I get the energy, it's cool. But I'm not gonna also knock my family if that's not what they're on or not ready for either. We got to stop that too as entrepreneurs.
Definitely,
you were given the vision, not them.
Exactly, and with coming with the vision too. Oh, okay. Sneezed. There it is. Thank you. Got it out the way. I felt that thing come about like 5-10 minutes ago, and I was trying to hold it in.
I see you. I see you trying to really wrangle that in.
Ain't it? I'm trying to let it happen sometimes. But like I was saying, oh man, before the devil, that little devilish cough came out of me. What it is like, when you have your vision, you know what I mean? Like you said, we have to stop looking for instant gratification. We got to put the work in. We got to stop looking for, I always tell people, you got to stop looking for support in the places that you expect it to come from. Because like we talked about with having the people that you haven't met before. You can go to a lot of networking events, but it's got to be in alignment. And when it's normally in alignment with what you're doing, now you're willing to talk to people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And those people that you don't know because they're on the same level as you, or with what you're saying makes sense, because I've talked to people that's been in a totally different genre than me, and they love what I was doing, and they bought my book. You know what I mean? Because they see how it can actually help a need. Those people you don't know, they'll support the heck out of you.
They sure will, without any question, because they were where you are.
Yeah.
And they didn't forget, by the way. Most millionaires and people like that are very humble. A true millionaire is actually very humble. And my CEO did it's a book called Ego is the Enemy.
Okay.
And he said, that's the book. He said, most people you see are real humble now that they at the top. They had to face rock bottom. Because they had a win, but then God had to knock them back down because they started getting arrogant.
There it is.
And let me tell you something. When God humble you, his hand is very heavy.
Ain't that the truth? Shoot, gotta show you some stuff, yeah.
Sometimes you gotta humble yourself before, because some people think, oh, I'm not making it because blah blah blah. Sometimes you're not ready. Because I've seen people, you get a little smidge of success and you get the big head. You're arrogant, you're stuck up. It's a lot of things that play into that too. Like people that's a self, realization you have to have. Like, do I get a little arrogant? Do I get a little pompous with people and short with people? And do I get a God complex? Because that's stuff we don't recognize in ourselves either until we get a win. You know what I'm saying? When you get a win, you really see what you made of too, not just losses.
That's true. That's true.
And that's something that gets watched also. Like, you definitely have to check yourself numerous times. Also, when you get a win, how do you treat the people around you?
Yeah, it is too. Yeah.
How do you
treat people look at that, yo? They look at that.
They do. Because there's some friends that not interested in what I'm doing, but I'll invite them to come celebrate with me, and I'll celebrate them and what they doing.
There you go. It's that reciprocity between the support.
Yeah, they might not want to do what I do, and that's okay. That's not the end all begin all of our relationship.
Exactly.
You have your own talents, I got my own talents. You know what I'm saying? You got your lane, I got my lane. And we should want to see each other shine and help each other out. My best friend is very good at fashion, all types. She has her own thing she want to do. I'm going to use my talents to help her brand.
Okay, who your best friend? Shout out your best friend real quick.
My bestie her name is Tony Malone. She has a resale shop, actually. She's selling all of her fashion items on Poshmark, and I made a special video for her, actually. I put on TikTok. I got to reshare it again. But she wants to come out with a brand called Colorful Beauty, where she brings back the natural things that we grew up on, like great underwear, great products, pure products that don't, affect our bodies, all those chemicals and stuff they put in the dyes and underwears and all that stuff and makeup and different things like that for men and women. And I think that's dope.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? And she's always supporting me no matter what place in life she's at. She always show up. She always support. She had a radio show herself, and she would invite my business partner. I'm like, hey, go down there. So whatever I'm doing, and there's never been no jealousy, no malice, nothing. We've been on each other and worked in church our whole life together. Whatever phase she's going through, and people forget that your relationships with people show also that support too.
Exactly.
So how you treat people when you're down and you going up, you gotta have that same energy. And sometimes people don't realize it all starts in your personal relationships too. You know what I'm saying? With people, your character and stuff.
Great.
How you treat
so
people.
Y'all definitely go check out her friend. Please do. She gave it a shout out. You know what I mean? Y'all check out if y'all listening and everything. Because I know y'all listen. I know y'all watching. Quit playing with me. But yes, definitely support her in that realm. And once again, y'all, we are on here with Nikki Spiller, and we are talking about brand identity. We are talking about identifying yourself, what you can also do to help yourself build your brand. We've hit on some personality traits, some issues, some things with people, just a lot of different things to cover this. And it's so much, we ain't got time to go back and tell it. If you just coming in now and tuning in, you got to go back and you got to watch it again. I'm just going to let y'all know. That's just how it works. If you miss it, you got to come back and catch it. Or what you could do is try to come on so we can have you on, and then we can talk about your brand too. Maybe we can have Nikisha on here to dissect your brand and tell you what you could be doing better. You know what? We might have to turn that into a show. We might have to do that one day. Yeah, we might have to do that.
I noticed that was my talent. That's why I started the business. I was good at helping other people build their business.
Okay.
I'm one of those people that I never been married, right? But I'm good at insight and wisdom on certain things. So it's the same way with business. Like I'm very good, insightful, and I see where somebody can grow at. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, definitely. That's what's up.
And it's just simple stuff. And I don't claim to get you $1 million, but I'm gonna get you to where you need to be. And then if I get you in another arena, let me introduce you to this other person. Let me introduce you to this other person. Let me connect you with who's gonna take you to the next levels. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. I'm humble enough to let you know, like, I ain't about to talk about, man, we're about to make $1 million. Like, no, let's start with the basics, because that $1 million is that's a little far off. We got to start right here first with your habits. And how do you feel about yourself? And do you believe in your gift? Do you believe your gift will make room for you? Do you believe there's a place in the market for you? Do you really, are you too busy comparing yourself? Because comparison kills. Jonathan McReynolds said that.
Come on now, say that.
It does. Like there can be 5 people that do what you do. And this is something I've always stressed to business owners when I do vendor events.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want anybody there that does what I do. You in competition, whether you want to be or not. You're in business.
It's inevitable.
It is competition. There's going to be 5 other people, but do they got your sauce? And do they got your drip?
Come on, girl. You better say it, because can't nobody do it like the one who created it.
Now, I'm just saying.
You know what? I like
that. I mean, like, that's like Louis Vuitton saying we ain't gonna sell no person, so Gucci got that on lock. You know, like
facts. You ain't lying.
Like that's like Nike and Adidas and Fila, like, well, we all can't go out at the same time, so you go first.
Facts.
We buy from these brands. They're all the same people, but everybody has different tastes. So you might bring a flavor that appeals to 500 people over here. Somebody else make a flavor that appeals to, and I like all 3. How about that? I'm gonna purchase you and you, because y'all all got something different. We're so busy self-doubting. We don't like there. You think I'm the first person to do social media and promo marketing? No, not at all. I'm not the first person to make videos. There's people that do it better than me. My whole point is to appeal to people who got a budget.
Okay. Let people know that. Okay.
Because you got to invest in yourself. You got to have some skin in the game. And stop doing everything yourself. I'm just the beginning point of knowing how to build a team. That's all.
Oh, okay. So see, now people, now y'all listening. Now, if y'all need these services, she said she is trying to help people on a budget. And see, I love that. And that's great because, like you said, it's so many people starting off. So many people trying to get it off the ground. They just need a little push. And Nikisha, that's great. I'm glad.
If you ain't going to invest in you, why somebody else should?
Like, girl, ain't that the truth? So you willing to take somebody $50?
Just money. I'm talking about time. Why should I invest it? If it's a hobby, it's gonna pay you like a hobby. If you want it to be a business, you got to invest in it. And one of my mentors said it, I'm expensive with my business and I'm cheap with myself.
Okay.
Because my business, he said, I will pay my office rent before I pay my mortgage. You feel me?
Okay. Yep.
My office
gotta
rent
have a way to
is
make money.
clients coming in, and that's my business. This is all I do. So this is what keep clients coming in, and I get on the rotation. I'm gonna pay for a staff because I can't do it all. So I'm gonna invest that money. He said, I'm not living in my dream home yet. I'm not. I'll still rent.
Yeah.
He broke down how he got $1 million in portfolio. Who's doing that for us in our community?
True.
Like,
Very
for
true.
real. This is a Hispanic dude. This is you telling me somebody who don't come from our country can come over here, get all his people in line, and show him, not fearful that you're going to supersede him, but really show you and break down him and his wife. This is how we hire our staff. This is how we do this. He said, oh, you thought this was about to be about insurance? He said, no, this is a business. And it starts with your mindset. And then nobody's going to join and follow nobody who don't believe in themselves and not going nowhere.
There it is.
He said, it's all about your mindset. He said, I was security at Sears and I don't speak good English. He said, imagine if I let people making fun of me stop me. What if he said, I had to take the insurance test in English and I knew no English really because I wanted it.
Because he wanted it. Definitely.
It started here. So we do start the decision making. How bad do you want it? And how bad do you really want to change your life? Because what you don't learn to hate, you tolerate.
Facts. Agreed.
So some of y'all don't even hate your life hard enough to even make a change.
Now, look here. I'm going to tell y'all this. Now, we have covered a lot today. We have covered a lot. Now, just with brand identity, we was about to dive into some other stuff, girl, because we could start talking about the camaraderie, the culture, all that stuff. But we ain't got enough time to talk about that today. We just don't have enough time. But we're going to say that for another episode, though. I definitely, Nikki, would love to have you back on. Yes, we could definitely do a part 2. Love to have you back on. And for the last time, let people know what you do. Drop all your information, the stuff that you want to share, everything, so that people know where to find you.
Okay, so my name is Nikki Spiller, but I tell people call me Nikki because the most time they butcher my name. But Nikki Sleep Designs. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I do social media promos, flyers. My prices start at $30 for a flyer, $50 for a video. Websites. I do websites too. And I'm doing sales because prices is going up in 2024. Okay, so I'm doing sales to the end of the year, like half off on website, building, revamp, whatever you want to be done. I also come out, I'll do some photography if you have no professional pictures, because that's imperative too. Having nice headshots and pictures of yourself. I'll do all of those things, the editing. Of course, it comes at a cost because it's time consuming. But
definitely.
I have a website, nikkisleepdesigns.com. You can find me on Facebook. You can reach out to me, 219-306-3957. Once again, it's 219-306-3957, or you can inbox me on Facebook. I also have a Facebook page. So yes.
Okay.
Feel free to text me. If I don't answer right away, I'm usually pretty fast, but just text me because I get a lot of stuff coming in. But
definitely. All right, y'all. So there it is. Y'all have heard it. Y'all have listened to us talk about identity today with you and your brand. So if you just missing the tail end of this, go back, catch the replay. Watch it. So, all right, y'all. It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, Nikki Spiller. All right, remember, redirect, regroup, refocus. I love y'all. Peace out. Thank you for listening and tuning into the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. We do thank you and appreciate and value you as a listener. Now, I would like to just throw in, please follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram as Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, and also Life Coach Jeff Relaford. You can also find me on Facebook as Jeff Relaford. That's my personal page. Go ahead, give me a follow there. I always put up some good inspirational content. And also the business page, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus on Facebook as well. So, all right, you all, thank you for tuning in. And next week, we will be here again. Remember, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus. I love you.